Now, I don't want to hear Mark Stoops. We got to get back to work. We got to clean things up. No, dude, shut your mouth. You big mouth. All you do is talk. And you'll have 1 9-3 season every once in a while, and this is what we get. Big talk Stoops. And this is where we get. We're going to be in some bum-ass 6-6 bowl game. But, Mark Stoops is going to ruin John Calipari's day on New Year's Eve when he's playing in a New Year's Six bowl. How silly does all that junk sound now?
The kids are down. The wife's asleep.
So in 4 hours, you drank 15 Busch Lights.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at 8 o'clock, that's when you checked out and your wife had to deal with you.
Night time.
Night time.
Yeah.
Crack a beer. Pour a bourbon. It's After Dark. On ESPN Louisville Plus. Subscribe and smash that freaking like button. Now here's Justin Soforo.
Sofuro. How do you
Soforo.
say Sofuro? No, it's fur. It's fur, not four. That's why it's fur, man.
Soforo.
There you go.
I mean, it's the same thing.
Soforo. I don't know. Soforo? Soforo, my bad.
No, Soforo. Here's Justin Soforo.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back into another edition. I swear, I promised you all. I promise. I keep saying that I'm going to do this every single week. The goal is now to try to do this every Sunday, usually around somewhere between 8 and 10 o'clock at night we'll get started. But that's the goal. Now that the season's here, the season is back. University of Kentucky, University of Louisville back playing football, or well, some of us are playing football. I don't know if you call what Kentucky did on yesterday playing football. But we're going to get into that, of course, obviously talking about the headline topic, of course, Mark Stoops. $9 million that the university is paying him to go lose to Shane Beamer, 31-6 at home. Joining me today, my guy decided to join me. He's doing it from work. I needed somebody to help me out, somebody to join in on the show, and I'm thankful for him. Jinky, how you doing, my man? Good to see you. Thank you for stepping in where other people, to use Mark Stoops' terms, wouldn't pony up. They wouldn't pony up and be a part of this.
I'm doing well. I mean, yesterday was a great day. Now that football's back, it's just so much better. Like the summer was killing me.
I can't. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's one of those things where every time I'm like, I want to get on here, I want to talk about something, then people are like, we don't want to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. What's there to talk about? And I get that. I understand it. But now we have football. We have games to talk about. And we can have a little bit of fun with it as well. Guys, if you haven't already, if you're joining in here, if you're new, hit the like button. Please jump over to the YouTube channel. I know a lot of people watch it from Twitter, and that helps us. We probably really need to think about monetizing Twitter because we get most of our viewership on Twitter. We're trying to get the YouTube thing rolling. Do me a favor, slide over to the YouTube channel. Subscribe on there. That really helps us, and hit the like button. All that stuff really does help us. That's a place where I really want to do a lot of content, and all of our pre-recorded content that isn't live is all going to be over there on the YouTube channel. So you're going to want to be subscribed anyway, so that way you can stay up to date. I know a bunch of other guys and people have things, podcasts, their shows, different stuff they want to do and get out there. Lieberman doing his breakdowns of basketball games and all that. I got to say this. Friday night. Oh, yeah, by the way, Friday night, if you don't know already, and I'm going to go ahead and throw this, we have a little ad, a little, shameless self-promotion. There's that thumbs up from Jinky. No, it's good. It's going to happen. You're doing it on your phone. I appreciate you being here. The Roundtable presents College Football Friday. I'm changing the name a little bit for them. Hopefully, Stream will be okay with it. I think Football Friday, using that drop in there will help. But we do a preview show every Friday, live, following the mixtape, following all the stuff, all the fun that they have over there on the Roundtable. The mixtape ends, And I know we say 6 o'clock. It's probably going to be 6:15 by the time everybody's settled and down and moved to wherever we're going to be. But sometime around 6 o'clock, we're live once again on all these platforms, previewing the games. I think the boys might be a little bit less chesty than they were this Friday. I don't know if you caught any of that preview show, but I was stuck. For lack of a better term, I was stuck with the big blue wall. But when I say lack of a better term, I was cuckolded by the big blue wall. Oh. That's what I can say. You got 3 big blue honks, 2 former offensive linemen for obviously the University of Kentucky, and 1 offensive lineman from Campbell's Dump University, all together, talking about the Cats, loving up the Cats, saying that the Cats are going to get things done for this game against South Carolina. And we're going to get to that game. But I just want to touch on this part, which is I had to sit there because I had to be the gracious one, the one that gave up my mic, just handed it over to Justin Jeffries. And I was happy to do so. Obviously, Justin Jeffries is much more talented and much more wise when it comes to the game than I will ever be. But there were moments where Strebel and Godby and him were all give and takes talking about this game with South Carolina and saying that it was just going to be it was just said and done that they were going to win against Shane Beamer in South Carolina. I was looking there. I was like, have y'all been there the last 2 seasons when they played South Carolina? Did y'all watch those games? And I understand it's Shane Beamer. Nobody has any respect for Shane Beamer. But I apologize. I know I'm filibustering you right now.
No, you're good.
But anyway, I know it's Shane Beamer. But at the same time, like, y'all lost those games. I don't care how much you don't respect him. You still lost those games. You got to show up. And they were chesty. I didn't get to bring that topic up. I didn't get to really get into it. We just talked about it like UK was going to handle business. Mark Stoops, it was a moment where he felt disrespected, and Mark Stoops was going to go out there and earn his paycheck. Well, here's Mark Stoops being Mark Stoops, right?
Absolutely.
Jinky, did you get to watch the game at all? Here's the truth. I had both games on, but they were side by side, and as a Louisville fan, my attention is on the Louisville game more. Right. But and also, I apologize too. I really wanted Dwight, or I wanted somebody from BBN to join me. I mean, I can still put that out there if somebody wants to hop in and give their BBN opinions on this. But I feel like I'm pretty fair, even though I'm a Louisville fan. I feel like I'm pretty fair at ESPN Louisville or both sides. Like, I crushed Louisville way more than I ever crushed UK. So anyway, sorry.
No, I was at the game, so we just we got to view it basically through scoreboard updates where the entire stadium cheered for South Carolina each time, right? Because it feels great.
Oh, it does feel good. There's still that rivalry aspect. I was talking with you before we started the show, but like, I don't really rivalry. And when I say I don't rivalry, I mean like to that level. Like, I'm not going to get into the honkiness. So there's a lot of honkiness with Strebel, right? Because he's white. I don't know, but anyway, there's a lot of honkiness with Strebel, and like, I can't do. I'm sure I can. I can yell and scream, but like, it's hard for me to get there with the yelling and screaming back and forth rivalry, especially right now, because we got to be honest and we got to face the elephant in the room. Louisville hasn't beaten Kentucky in 5 tries, and we can say we can do the rivalry stuff about 2021 and all that stuff. I don't do that. I believe 2013 happened, 2021 happened, it damn sure happened, and I remember how pissed I was that night.
Absolutely, yeah.
I feel weird because I was trying to save this topic for later in the show, but I feel like we're already here. So I feel like we're already here at this point. So maybe we just need to go ahead and get into the Mark Stoops topic. Is that you want to do that? You good to start that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Upload says I can buy so much beer and buttermilk for $9 million. Absolutely. Let's see what else we got. Joshua gives us a pony up. Absolute big boy.
Get back to work.
I don't know what your name is. It nerves me out to say it, so I'm not going to say it. Summerall has a big audition versus Oklahoma. Yeah, I mean, he also had a big. He's at Tulane, right? They also played up against. Yep. Was that Kansas State? That was. I gave you the list of games. I don't know why I can't remember who played who, but I do remember they were awesome. Anyway, the main thing. Here's my thing. Congratulations, first of all, to Kentucky in making history. The University of Kentucky is the first SEC team in the conference's history to be in 16th place in the league. Being 0-1,
Badge of honor.
That's the fallout that they got with this. And I'm sorry, there's a little bit of the rivalry. I'm sorry, I still did it. I had to do it. I'm sorry. Again, guys, if you could do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Over on the YouTube channel, if you're on Facebook or whatever, liking it on there helps as well. Anyway, I'm not really going to get too much in the nitty-gritty of the actual game, but because right now my opinion really is on Mark Stoops. I mean, I guess if we want, we can talk about switching out offensive coordinator after offensive coordinator and still not either not trusting him. I guess he was, from what Mark Stoops said, he was allowed to call the plays. Like, he was allowed to do what he wanted. I don't know how true that is. Is that like Sean Watson calling plays for Charlie Strong? You know what I mean?
Right. And when you look at it, right, like, was it a failure of talent? Like, are they not as talented as what we were assuming, right? Is Brock Vandagriff really not? Is he really just the third string guy at or later at Georgia, or was he? Or is it coaching? Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is it play calling?
Yeah. Mysterious Cookie says the YouTube stream is not up. Sorry, I just checked. It's up. It's there. I can show you it's on there, and with some random other stuff. But like, yeah, it's on there. So definitely, yeah. A lot of you all are commenting from the YouTube stream, so go check it out. Yeah, sorry, I'm sorry. I get easily distracted. That's the one thing about trying to do the video and audio quality at one time. Sorry, and you mind repeating your last sentence? My apologies.
Yeah, is it an issue with talent? Like, is somebody like Brock Vandagriff, is the line not as good as it was? Is the defense not as good as it was, or is it just poor coaching at this point? Like, is it what they're hitting?
I think it's pretty clear the offensive line is going to be a problem this season, unless they can really clean that up. It's going to be a problem for UK, especially. I mean, you're talking. They got all the ones that showed out this season or this week. All the ones that showed out are on their schedule. They don't,
absolutely.
They don't have Oklahoma or Alabama, who struggled against their opponents. I don't know how Alabama is still in the top four. Again, after they, I mean, I guess you couldn't really justify moving anybody else down. I understand Alabama's going to get it because they're Alabama, but at the same time, you're going to tell me that Alabama team looks better than Tennessee did against NC State. I know you can't you can't just catapult Tennessee up the rankings like that. But I still don't know if I believe that they're a top four team. But the ones that are the ones who looked great, who showed out against tough competition or competition, we'll say that. Tennessee against NC State, Georgia's Georgia. We've seen what Georgia did to Clemson. And then Clemson, even though it was Strebel's pick about Appalachian State coming out and beating them, Clemson did what Clemson does. So that team's not dead. That team looked dead against Georgia, but Georgia is a different animal this season. I think, though, and then they got to play Texas as well, who is as impressive as anybody against Michigan. Here's where I sit with it. And right now, the big picture to me all resonates with Mark Stoops. It just resonates with him as the coach. And kind of highlighted by Strebel's rant, which actually wasn't even from this year because he's no longer doing the UK postgame show. By the way, shout out to Justin Rowland. Wait, TJ. Wait, who did not Justin Rowland? Wait, I'm sorry, who did the UK postgame show? Did I write? Who does it? Okay, somebody in the comments. Who did the UK postgame show last night? I should know this. I took the notes all night, and I don't have it right now. Whoever did the UK, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Guy who did the UK postgame show. Shout out to him because they did a really good job, and I thought definitely worth listening to. But I do miss my big rig going off on Mark Stoops. Anyway, where I come with this is from everything that unfolded last season. If we look at Louisville, that game against Louisville, that, as it tends to do for Mark Stoops, as much to my chagrin, as much to my anger, my rage, whatever you want to have inside of me, don't put it inside me. But when it comes to Mark Stoops, he gets it up. Tri-State Men's Health. He gets it up for the Louisville game. He does it. Same thing. Cal always did that in basketball. Something I'm jealous of as a fan. But when it comes to Kentucky, he always gets bailed out or kind of saved perception-wise by that Louisville game. TJ Walker. I'm sorry. Thank you, Dennis. TJ Walker, the sports talker. My bad. It's a Justin Rowland. I'm sorry. All these white guys. All these white guys look the same to me.
Freaking Caucasians.
Anyway, the way I sit with it. So obviously that evening, all the rumors came out. Texas A&M. He was saying his goodbyes. He said his goodbyes to, Diener's our inside source. He's got a man there. He was saying goodbyes to everybody. Yep. Big Dog knew he was gone. All that was happening. And then, and then the Texas A&M fan base rioted. They didn't let it happen. And now what are you stuck with? What are you stuck with in Kentucky? And what you're stuck with is something I think a lot of people know pretty damn well. I think a lot of people have had this feeling in their lifetime at one point. Say, well, okay, I'm doing
Scott
the thing. Yes, that's what I'm getting at, but a little bit more artistically is what I'm trying to go with. Here is what everybody knows. I say this because, to the best of my knowledge, I've never been cheated on in my lifetime. I'll say that. That has never happened. But it is the moment. It is. I know people with. And I'm doing the Streeble thing. I don't need Tri-State Men's Health for that. I don't need it, but it will help you. But I will tell you how good it helps. I don't need it. It's not me. But anyway, what happens is you get cheated on, and you take her back because at this moment it's as good as you're gonna do. You've seen what you've had before, and you're not ready to go back to that. Also, she's got 2 kids already. You're paying alimony. You'd rather just pay for her to be here by your side rather than see her to go out that door and go with somebody else. So right now what UK is doing is they're stuck with the ex. Or not with the ex, with the wants to be ex that cheated on you. You're stuck with that girl. And the whole time, she doesn't really want to be there with you because there's no way out, right? There's nothing else there's better options, but nobody's taking her. Nobody's taking her right now. And that's what you have with Mark Stoops is nobody's taking him. He's going to find it out. And I think we all kind of know and feel that he's probably out the door by the time the end of the season happens. It's just, where's he going to be? Let me put that up because obviously the YouTube stream is up. I've come down from the ledge, though. Still have plenty of possible wins on the schedule. And that's the other aspect. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry. Right now, I'm sorry. I'm trying. I apologize. I'm not trying to do the show. I'm by myself, but I want you to talk.
I mean, you're good.
It happens. It happens, man.
So.
Uh-oh. There we go.
We're good?
Yeah. We're good. We're good. I can hear you. I can see you. You're beautiful. We're good.
All right. So when we're talking about that, I went back and looked at the schedule, right? They've got an Ohio game coming up. That Ohio game should be a W, right?
Yeah.
Right, it really should be. They've got Murray State on there. That should also be one. So you're looking at 3, but you're looking at a pretty competitive Vanderbilt team, right? I mean, I don't think that they're world beaters or anything, but if Kentucky's going to play the way they did yesterday, Vanderbilt's not a pushover.
No.
Florida looked awful, but that doesn't mean that by the time Kentucky gets there that they're not just going to want to beat Kentucky because Kentucky's gotten them a couple times in the last one.
And also Florida going by just reading the scoreboard, right? I didn't watch the game, but Florida they worked their bum ass team they were playing yesterday, so they took care of them. They got work done then. So I'm looking at Florida, and it's still Billy Knapp, right? Billy Napier. I'm not trusting him to get the job done against Kentucky. So I will, for right now, I will cede UK beating them. Otherwise, though, when I look at their schedule, Vanderbilt though is one. You brought up the idea of Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt's one that I'm not willing to. They look like a competent football team at this point.
They do. Yes.
Is your mic? Your mic might have been disconnected there. Let's see if we can get that fixed. We're doing the live TV thing. Let me go. I'm going to read through some comments and then we'll get back while you're getting that thing sorted out. Peanut Butter Posse. That's what your name is. Got it. 6 for 6 for sure. Possibly 7 and 5. It's on the table, but I'll say right now, I wouldn't even be shocked at 5 wins right now. I wouldn't be shocked at 5. So I get what you're saying. Let's see. Casey Hensley digging the FPP in, Jinky. You see, I told you somebody was going to see that you did that. Oh, is it? Hey, your mic's disconnected. I think your mic's not. That's if you can figure that out. If you're able to figure that out, yeah, get that going. I'll go ahead and let me put you on mute real quick, and I'll go ahead and read through some more of these. Sideline Louisville Cardinals want to make fun of them so bad, but we got to beat them. It's the same thing. I completely agree. Dennis, where's Rig the bum? You think Big Rig's going to show up on a Sunday night? On a Sunday night after UK lost, there's no way in hell. There's no way it's happening. It's the dawn of a new era. I have to see what happens in November before I'm ever willing to say that. At this point right now, and I've had my own conspiracy theories and takes, we had the mole with Matt Jones before. Is there a new mole with Louisville in Louisville? And that's what they're doing. Did we get WikiLeaks? Is that what's happening every year with Louisville? That's why we're getting busted over there. Is we're getting WikiLeaks. That's what we have at this point. I don't know. We'll see if Cheeky comes back. Let's keep going from here. Shout out to the guy. Cheeky's been around. He's been with the podcast that Nick and Tanner have done. You got to definitely tune in for that one. It's a really good podcast whenever they get that going back again. That's Gas Bag Radio. So definitely make sure you check them out there. We don't outplay or outcoach Louisville. Our size always ends up being the difference. And that might be it. It may be just the amount of SEC talent you're able to get thanks to the recruiting. I mean, a lot of it comes from Big Dog and the guys that he's able to get. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of things, though, I think that they're a little bit in their head. Dennis, I listened to the first 10 to 15 minutes of the Team Up the Roads post-game show, hoping Rick would call in. No, Dice. I did, too. I actually spent the entire week. I can't tell you, for those of you who actually listen to the mixtape and tune in for that, thank you for the support. That's really what they keep me around here at the station for. They pretend like sometimes they let me do this. For the most part, it's about the mixtape. And I'll tell you right now, I'll give you guys a preview. Now I won't tell you what we have marked, but it's already the mixtape is already pretty damn full. I gotta go cut that sound tomorrow. But your boy put in his hours this weekend. Sunbelt Billy is going back to Mertz with Lagway showdown. He's just going to he's trying to get fired. Yeah. What's up, Andre Goatley tuning in. Shout out my man. Kentucky is done. And Stoops is fleecing Kentucky. At this point right now, it feels that way. The only thing he has really to lean on to right now is just that win against Louisville that he gets at the end of the season.
Are you?
Yeah, you're back.
All right, good. I don't know. You might have to. I can't adjust my camera on that side. You got me pushed up a little bit, I think.
You're good. Yeah, I'm trying to. I think it's cut off the angle. It doesn't have your head. That's as far as it's got that I can do. So it's that's perfect.
I'll scroll back a little bit.
He'll just chill back there in the dark. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, like I was trying to talk about like looking at their schedule. Mm-hmm. They don't have any aside from the two, right? There are no gimmies left, especially if they looked like that versus South Carolina, which they were expected to be better than, right? Like much better than.
Outside of you got Murray State, which I know people were joking that Murray State busted. They're not going to do that. And here's the thing: I'm sorry, I don't care. I don't care how bad Kentucky looked yesterday. I'm still not going to say that Louisville wins that game because that's where my confidence is right now. After what happened last season, and last season very well may just be if you remember Charlie Strong year one, where Charlie Strong was, get on the train's going to start rolling, and it did start rolling. But I remember how deflating that loss against Joker Phillips was. And that was because they had Randall Cobb, and Randall Cobb balled out that game, and I drank way too much alcohol, and I was miserable in the stands with a migraine by midday.
If you can remember, like on this, when you on your sheet of lies that you sent over, like you were talking about like the penalties, right? Like the normal Mark Stoops penalties against everybody except for Louisville, who apparently they are flawless against for whatever reason.
Yep.
right?
Did they have
I went
was
back
it one
and looked.
penalty all game? If
Yeah, one, and it was at the very end.
Yeah.
They had 11 for 63 yards on against South Carolina. South Carolina had 8. Like I don't know that I can blame penalties. Like they just got beat.
Yeah. It was as bad of a drubbing as I've ever seen. I think, especially at home for Mark Stoops. And I'm just not used to seeing the guys in the trenches fail like that. I don't think I've ever seen while they've had more. Maybe like Matt Elam when he was there, like he was,
guy.
Yeah, he was fake juice. I remember that. But outside of that, I don't remember seeing a lot of on either side of the ball really get dominated like that.
No, he's always had really good line play, and that's the weird part about what we're seeing out of this. Like you said in the beginning, they don't look good there, and that's relatively uncharacteristic, which brings into the idea of, like, is he checked out? Like, was he, like, Satterfield, after the South Carolina flirtation was never what we thought he was going to be after the 8-5 season, right? It was just not good.
I think when it comes to Scott Satterfield, I think that's who Scott Satterfield is. Look at Cincinnati.
Oh,
I think that's who he is as a coach. He is everything that people want to claim about Shane Beamer. Sorry, that was a bad misstep. I probably should just let it go and get walking, but here I am talking. So anyway, Shane Beamer as a coach, the thing about him is everybody wants to make fun of him being corny. Well, his corny ass is busting you. He's busting you 3 years in a row. He's putting on the shades. The South Carolina Twitter account's rolling. Man, that guy's doing overtime. Picking out just random UK accounts that were tweeting about how Mark Stoops was going to bust his ass, and then their ass got busted. Right? Yeah. At the same time, I think that, and it's funny too, because where was Scott Satterfield trying to go? South Carolina. And look who they got. South Carolina. And also, another side point, though, and Peanut Butter Posse is kind of bringing up, South Carolina defense may end up being elite. Auburn's awful. Florida has a coaching disability. Vandy will come back to earth. We'll see about. I mean, I believe. Actually, I agree with you on most of that. Even Vandy, you're probably right. But we've also seen Vandy bust Kentucky out of nowhere
2 years ago.
Yeah, at Kentucky.
Absolutely.
And but it also kind of brings up, like, we talk about the amount of NIL and what they're pumping, the resources that South Carolina was pumping into to this team. And also we look at Louisville. Amari Huggins-Bruce comes back to Louisville. He couldn't break the top 4 when it came to wide receivers that transferred in there. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not trying to crap on a kid or anything like that. But, like, I don't think Amari Huggins-Bruce is anything special. I'm glad he's here for to fill in that gap while we got injuries. But at the same time, it's interesting to see the amount of talent that they may have. Excuse me, I'm trying not to burp into the mic. Probably shouldn't be drinking beer, but that's part of the show. Anyway, at the same time, just to see maybe the talent level is just going to be that because of the amount of money and NIL. And the reason at the same time that Stoops is also yelling and screaming about pony up, well, maybe you could pony up a little bit of that $9 million that you're getting paid every year to give yourself a little bit better.
Maybe take a reduction.
Absolutely.
They ain't interested in giving money back.
No. No. It's just interesting. I don't know where Kentucky's going to go from here, but at the same time, it feels like they're going to come to a parting of ways at the end of the season. I think Mark Stoops is ready to go. I think he has read the room and says, it's time for me to get out of here. It's time for me to find a place. If I want my to have something to claim in my coaching career. Like right now, you've done a really good job cashing that paycheck. And when I say that, that's not a bad thing. If you can find a spot like Kentucky is a great spot for people who don't want to have a lot of expectations. If you can go out and beat your rival, who historically, and I understand, Strebel, people like that will yell and scream about Louisville football not being what a lot of people make Louisville football out to be. But I remember Louisville football, but this is why he says it though, what Louisville football was in the 2000s and what it was during Charlie Strong, and it's our fault. And during parts of very first early Bobby Petrino was Bobby Petrino 2.0 was very good.
Absolutely.
You could dream about
We have a Heisman Trophy. We have a Heisman Trophy sitting over there.
Yeah, I wouldn't give away that, even though the way it ended, and I incorporate so much of that having to do with the Tom Jurts leaving thing. I think that's why Bobby quit. I understood there were a lot of other issues with people not wanting to work with him, not wanting to be a part of his coaching staff, but a lot of it had to do with he punted on that because Tom Jurts was gone. And Bobby Petrino may not be loyal to anybody. I think he was loyal to Tom Jurts. My opinion.
I think he owed Tom a lot. I really do. I think when all the stuff went down and he kind of left, and I think maybe there had been like some distrust from Tom to Bobby for a while. But when he came back around and was coming from Western Kentucky, I think he helped him get on. I think that was a favor, and then the ability to prove himself down there by beating Kentucky nonetheless, and then be able to come back up here and perform in the beginning. Well, right? Not great, but well.
Yeah.
So,
my question, okay, Kentucky fans that are in here, that are in the chat, whatever you can do. First, reminder to everybody, like the thing. Just hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. Definitely go to the YouTube channel and subscribe there. I'm going to keep pushing that. That's something I need other people to help me with, reminding you all. I'm going to keep plugging. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep plugging. But I want to get Kentucky fans' opinions on how you feel about this season. Like, it may be a one-off thing. The problem is it wasn't just losing a close game against South Carolina. You got bullied at home. You got shut the bleep down.
Absolutely.
And that's something that, and I understand a lot of Kentucky fans feel this way, where it's like the season is over. It feels that way because you're looking at the SEC, and because it's being in the SEC, Louisville can lose a game. And I can feel pretty damn bad about it. They can get blown off the field, but I can still, as long as it's not, some bum. But at the same time, I can still kind of dream. Yeah, last year, we lost to Pittsburgh, a bad Pittsburgh team, and I could still dream about the possibility of a playoff if they would have gotten things done at the end of the season. So that's where I sit with that. But I want to see how UK fans feel, because that's how I would feel. You're in the SEC, and it's hard as fuck. And I can say that on here because it's on the YouTube channel. But it is so difficult, and I give so much credit to that schedule because that's going to be fun to watch as a fan. But when it comes to the end-all, be-all, what you can accomplish in that season, it feels like it's such you lose early and the season's out the door. What are we playing for? What are we doing? What do we get it up for? Reminder, every Friday, tune in. Live show right after the mixtape, 6 p.m. right here, ESPN Louisville Plus. Strebel, myself, Godby, Justin Jeffries will be there, I think, and maybe some other guests as well every Friday at 6. Hopefully we're going to get more UK people. Hopefully maybe we can get some Louisville people. I don't know how many people Strebel's going to get, but maybe I could reach out. I'd have a few people that played for the team back when I was in college and stuff, so we'll see. Or maybe Biscuit can pull some strings for us. Let's get the Valvanos out there. Uploaded. So you're saying UK is going to get rid of Stoops and then hire Bobby 3.0? No, that's not happening. Bobby's over. Oh no.
Bobby will be the head coach at Arkansas. Bobby will be the head coach at Arkansas.
Don't you worry about Bobby. Bobby's getting comfortable. Bobby, I don't know if Bobby might have who's the head coach there right now? Big old man titties. Yeah. What's his? I can't remember his name, but. I'm not fully convinced that he hasn't already taken the office. He may already be sitting in that office.
And they're sowing the seeds of dissent right now.
Oh, absolutely.
He's winning the team over.
Yeah. I mean, well, if you're looking at how good that offense was chugging, and especially for a majority of that game yesterday until the very end, and you can say about how it was called there at the end, but either way, they look good. They look like Bobby 2.0. Or not Bobby 2.0. They look like Bobby resurrected. We'll say that.
But looking at that Oklahoma, the OK State game, right? Like why is anybody surprised that Bobby Petrino knows how to put points on a board?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
He may not be a great dude like in real life or anything, but why are you surprised that he knows how to get the ball in the end zone?
Yeah. As long as you got a good defensive guy, and I mean, if you can find a way to keep Bobby as just an offensive coordinator. And then you might actually be able to have a coaching staff worth a damn because they only have to work with him, not for him. You might be cooking with grease then. Jacob Smith says Kentucky goes 2-10 this year. Bill O'Brien comes to Kentucky. I don't see Bill O'Brien. I mean, who knows? Where's Bill O'Brien right now? He's at is he at
Boston College.
Boston College. I mean, yeah, maybe then. Maybe that kind of Mark Stoops, Bill O'Brien. I don't know if that's exactly the same, but it's kind of, I don't know. Personality wise, seems kind of
different side of the ball.
Likable. Yeah, but I just mean like more personality. No, Bill O'Brien's way more likable. Yeah, never mind. It's not even close, really. Look at the Calipari situation. Barnhart is not firing Stoops. He'll have to leave of his own volition. I think if there is an opportunity, he'll do it. I think he absolutely will do it because at his age and what he has left to accomplish in the sport, if he thinks that he can actually win somewhere that cares about football, maybe Florida State may look at coming open at the end of the season. Maybe he'll go there. I don't know. I mean, Lane Kiffin's going to Florida, right? We can all kind of agree on that. It seems like that's pretty like a marriage that's ready.
Florida State wanted to get into the SEC. Maybe they can just like have an SEC coach.
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll satisfy their lawsuit.
I hope they leave then, because I don't want to continue. Maybe he won't care as much about Louisville if he's at Florida State. I don't know. Maybe he won't get it up, if you will. Anyway, that's what we have about Mark Stoops for this point. I just think I really want to hear some real vitriol from people, and that's why Dwight's going to have to come out of the woodwork next time, and I want to drag him through this, and I need to hear his opinion. I'm sure Strebel's going to be on one tomorrow, and I can't wait to hear him and Godby break it down, because they were chesty as could be heading into this game, and look what happened to you. Look what happened, big boy. That's what happens with big boy football, right? That's what you always. That's what I always hear. I always hear about ACC. Is, that's not big boy football. You're not ready for big boy football. Well, big boy football came for Big Ray.
Yeah.
It'd be so dumb to force Stoops out because he is the ceiling. Only place to go is down.
That's not a bad comment.
It's not. It's not because
he might be the best you can get. Period.
Here's my only worry, or my main worry as a Louisville fan, is now the landscape is so different from when he got hired. You think about how damn long he's been at Kentucky, but like the landscape, because of conference realignment, like the SEC was strong then, right? But now with the TV deals, with money, with the additions of Texas and Oklahoma and all that, they have so much to offer a coach now, and they still have that low bar of expectations. So you can be an attractive landing spot for a coach who maybe wants to, if they start trying to make Kentucky be, and that's the one thing that Mark Stoops has done that shocked me, was he didn't make it be a stepping stone job. And what I mean by that is it wasn't a 2 to 3 year period and then he's out of here. It took him a little bit longer, obviously, to get the quote unquote ball rolling. Yes, the ball rolling at Kentucky might be a lot of 7-5 seasons, but that's still a lot damn better than what we've seen from Kentucky in years past, outside of a couple of seasons by Rich Brooks. Yeah. So that's my only thought is, what if now they're just a lot more appealing for a guy who, is an up and comer and can keep them at a very competitive level compared to, and I hate to say Louisville football, but you know what I mean, that kind of competition.
Like I think when you look at it, right, when you start talking about people like Summerall there at Tulane and stuff like that, I think there are going to be better jobs come open. Like if Stoops leaves or gets fired or whatever, there are going to be massively better jobs come open like quickly. Florida being one of them. Florida's a better job. It just is.
Yeah. It'll always be. I mean, the history, the tradition. Yeah, it's
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, probably Mississippi State too. Mississippi. I don't know how long that guy will last.
Yeah, that's one. That's one I'd fight you a little bit on, just because like Mississippi State. Not that I think Mississippi State isn't better than Kentucky, but it's just like, is that a spot that you really want to be in? Does that make sense? Like for the most part, what have they done outside of what's his name, who went to Dan Mullen?
Dak Prescott. Oh, Dan Mullen, but Dak Prescott.
Dan Mullen, yeah. And that short period. They got the Pirate before he did. R.I.P. They got the Pirate. Yeah. I was sad about that. I wanted the Pirate. Also, all the people I had that I knew, close friends of mine, that were talking about how bad they would love to see, Prime instead of Jeff Brom getting hired at Louisville.
No.
How you feeling now? How you feeling now about Prime? Yeah, get the hell out of here. Your son's leaving before you're even done with the game. Some daddy bullshit. Like that pisses me off so much. If that were my son and I'm the coach of the team and my son walks off like a little diva like that. And I understand Prime was a diva. He is a diva himself.
Oh, absolutely.
But that okay, I guess it just speaks to you. Gosh, I'm not trying to attack him as a father, but you know what I mean? Like that's what you've instilled in your son. And I also know how difficult it is. I'm battling my kid right now. He's 4. It's all personality right now. It's all I didn't know that 4 was a teenager year. I didn't know that. I thought I waited a little while. No,
wait until they're actual teenagers.
Yeah, exactly. I can't. I can wait for that. I don't know. I feel like boys are probably easier than girls. I have no idea. I only have 2 boys, so it is what it is. Jacob Smith says, "Oh wait, sorry. I did see Peanut Butter said I'd sell my soul for Urban Meyer. Yeah, who the hell wouldn't? absolutely, I would too." Jacob Smith, word of warning to UK fans: see how this year's basketball season plays out before running off the other coach. Here's the thing: as much as it may be a lot of Kentucky fans wanting to run their coach off right now, I think Mark Stoops is just ready to run himself off. I think he's just looking for the next opportunity at this point. I think. Well,
it was shown. It was shown with Texas A&M. He was going. He wanted to go. He was leaving it, and it just not given the opportunity because A&M pulled their offer.
Yeah,
which is embarrassing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then they got Mike Elko, who lost to Notre Dame, which at face value isn't bad, but then you still see what happened with them against Northern Illinois. So, Dennis wouldn't guess. Would Louisville fans rather have Stoops stay at UK and beat U of L every 3 to 4 years, but goes 5 and 6 overall for the season, or leaves outright? I'm fine with him staying. I think he sucks. I said this on the take with when I was doing it, when I was producing it with Strebel and Sweeney back in the day, and I have no shame in saying this. I don't care if Mark Stoops goes 7-5 or if he has a losing season here and there or whatever. I don't care that rivalrying about that doesn't do anything for me. What I do care about is sitting through that damn game every single year and feeling it's going to fall apart. Ever since Lamar fumbled the damn ball back in 2016, I have always felt like something is going to go wrong instead of Louisville's going to go out there and handle business. I haven't felt like that. The last time I felt like that was, I guess it was it the season prior to that when Lamar won it, or was it? No, I guess Lamar won it the next
season
year.
Prior to that's the one where he comes into the game after we're down like 21-3.
Right. Okay, you're right. Yeah. So that one, and then he handled business pretty strongly in the season after, in the 2017 season, I think. Right. That one, and then after that, I guess that's been the last time.
That's the last time.
Yeah. So, I get your sentiment, Dennis, but no way. I don't care. I'd rather them have a coach that wins them 9 games a season as long as he's losing to Louisville. That's what I care. That's what I care about is that game. I want to be able to rivalry again. Football and basketball.
I'm cool with them having a great record. Like, I'm actually a little disappointed in the loss to South Carolina because I think it directly affects us. Like the win won't mean as much in what we want it to mean.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we want to have an opportunity to be in the top 12. Right. We can't do that if towards the end of the season we're competing against a 5-6 UK team that's fighting for their life for a bowl game.
That's the only part where I will push back on you a little bit. And I think it was actually I can't remember who said it. Somebody said it last night, actually. That's the one thing I actually enjoy. And that's why I don't want to say love, but what I enjoy about Louisville still being in the ACC, just go handle business. It doesn't matter. Every team you play could be a crap bum. But you're in the ACC. If you win the ACC and you're a champion of the league, you're going to make the playoffs this year. You're going to win. Yep. So it doesn't matter if everybody shits their pants. At this point, you're going to win. You're going to do it. So just go handle business. Jeff Brom, go handle business. Right now, I think and we can kind of transition now into Louisville and actually talk Louisville since we are Louisville fans. It's probably something we'd like to talk about. Guys, if you haven't already, smash the freaking like button. Go to YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Do all that good stuff. It helps us. Helps me. Please. Just do that right now. We appreciate it. Anyway, and I apologize if I'm screaming in your ear right now if you're deaf while you're trying to work. Anyway, For Louisville, one of the things. Sorry, where was I saying? Oh, transition. So if they win, if they whatever, this is one of those things. Oh, here it is. The take right now, and it was before this season, before this week. I mean, it was to me. It was now. It's for all intent and reasoning. It's down to Miami and Louisville, right? Like right now, those are the two teams that have. And again, Louisville hasn't played anybody. I understand that. It's Indiana's fault. Indiana should have been on that field Saturday. And they still probably wouldn't have played anybody. But still, it would have been a Big Ten foe rather than Jacksonville State and Rich Rodriguez trying to shuffle his mistress around at halftime. But right now, the one thing that I have is I think Louisville, and I've never been a believer in Miami. And I've Phil Baker, apologize to you. I kind of crushed you a little bit saying, I can't believe how stupid it is that people are buying into Miami. I don't know. They look pretty damn good. After handling business against Florida, then they go out there and steamroll. And again, it's Florida A&M. I know it didn't matter. But that kind of a dominant performance can't mean nothing to me. What was it, like 59-6 or something like that? I think in the final score was
59-6, yeah.
Yeah.
So now Cam Ward is good. Right, Cam Ward's really good.
Yeah.
But every single year, Miami's like 5-0, and then they end up, 8-5. Every year, 7-4. They always end up there, and I don't know how they do it, but we have the same conversation. The same conversation happened last year with Miami, and the year before that, where they started off the season on fire, and then for some reason, mid-October, they just fall apart.
Hey, I was okay with it last year because Louisville was right there to pick it up.
No, I'm good with it, right?
Like in the game.
Yeah, and I'm good with that rolling in. Like I actually like the time frame of our game being October 19th, and I do like the Teddy Bridgewater Ring of Honor thing going on that day.
Yeah, and then you're playing for a trophy, you're playing for the boots. You got the trophy you're going to play for. There's so much more going into that game for this season that it could be. I mean, it could be a doozy.
Yep.
But I think with the way the rest of the season, and I think Clemson's still not going to be a slouch either. So I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to fully buy into Miami, but this year I'm more likely to listen to it than I've ever been.
I still, to this point, and I know that it didn't go the right way for Georgia Tech this weekend. I still think Georgia Tech's better than Miami. And I thought they've had a really good offense from last year when we went down to Atlanta. I thought the Haynes King kid, I think he's great.
Yeah.
He's going to be a really good quarterback. He'll make money, right? That's the sign of a really good quarterback. He'll make money professionally doing this. And the loss of Syracuse, I don't even think it's that bad because you figure on the other side that's McCord's on the other side, and he had a 10-2 season at Ohio State last year.
Yeah, and I did want to touch on that. That was one of the points too. Is I thought Syracuse looked pretty damn good the first two games of the season.
Yeah,
I'm kind of sad that Louisville doesn't play them because I've always liked I am, and I've actually talked about this before. When I wouldn't say closeted Syracuse fan, but they're like, if I had to pick if I have a secondary team in Syracuse, I like them a lot. My family's also from Syracuse, Sicily, so that's really why. Probably the name, the town and all that. But also, I love Boeheim.
So it makes you the number one Italian.
Yeah, thank you. Exactly. Thank you. The
ratings
need to reflect me at number one. Real down to earth Italian, real paisan, if you will, from Shelby County, Kentucky. Shelby County High School from Shelbyville. Anyway, yeah, that makes me the real paisan in this thing. But no, it's I have a soft spot for Syracuse. I think a lot of thing too. Like the reason I remember as a kid when I picked Louisville as my team. It was kind of like and I'm not saying I'm not trying to denigrate the university, but what I mean is at the time, historically, Louisville was more of the underdog kind of thing, team. I don't like to cheer for typically I don't like to cheer for the dominant teams. And I think Syracuse definitely fits that kind of mold, especially in football. So I don't mind cheering for them a little bit. And they've had, some history there, but they're still, it is what it is, Syracuse football. So anyway, at the same time, Kyle McCord, he's a baller. He's an absolute baller.
Absolutely.
Eat it, Zach Cantrell. You lost in Kyle McCord. I understand. Ohio State still hasn't skipped a beat. It doesn't matter. They're going to be a top, 14. They're going to make the playoff no matter what, more than likely. It is what it is. But at the same time, I'm very excited to see, and the things that Fran is doing there, the new head coach from Georgia.
Yeah, Fran Brown.
He's bringing in so many, like the talent they're bringing in is not what Syracuse is used to, because he's able to bring a lot of Georgia guys in there as well. But
he brought, this has worked sometimes. Obviously, it happened at work for a year at Kentucky, but he brought in a guy, Jeff Nixon, out of the NFL that was the running backs and running game coordinator at the Giants. And I realized that like the Giants haven't produced much, but I think they were top 10 every year that he was there as far as the way the running game went. So top 10 in the NFL.
Yep.
I mean, the guy's got some chops with him, and he's learned from some good people. So, the last he was working with what's his name, with Dabo. Is that Brian Dabo's there? And Dabo was a pretty good offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely. I know he wasn't there. Obviously, Fran Brown just took over this year, but of course also I like Syracuse because they have my boy DeVito. Over there. You mentioned about the Giants or whatever, right? And that's what made me think about that.
Mike DeVito action.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I guess also to go off of that, being Syracuse beating Georgia Tech, and I think Syracuse is a good team. I'm iffy on the Georgia Tech thing. I think they're solid because we saw what happened in the competition they gave Louisville last year, and I would expect them to only be better than they were then. But also, at the same time, can we also say that I think Florida State is not just bad, but levels worse than we even are comprehending right now. Even after losing to Boston College, like, is there another floor for them to fall through?
In that game, DJ looked like he had never played football before. And he's never, he looked great at Oregon State last year.
Yeah, spill my beer on me, sorry.
He looks like he's never. He looks like he's new to the game of football.
He looks like the most incompetent player to ever step on a field. He looks like if I put my fat ass out there and tried to go, just go try to run a play or whatever for a collegiate
which is surprising,
team.
right?
Yeah,
because he's been in college for this is like year 6.
He's highly thought of. He's a guy that I remember after Louisville got Tyler Shuck, and I promise we're going to talk Louisville. I keep diverting. But after they got Tyler Shuck, I said, okay, because DJ was out there. Maybe if you can go get him too. I understand there's talks that he won, and if he got $2 million or whatever it is that was floated out there, and I know it's hard to really get any kind of confirmation on what these numbers are in NIL, but if he got $2 million, I bet there's a booster out there who's really bleeping pissed right now. Somebody who ever paid that money for him is probably knocking on his door at night, asking for it back.
You got to play better, bro. Them payments ain't coming every day.
But anyway, let's just get into Louisville. I know, and I want to keep you too long either too, because I know you've got. He's working. He's working right now. I'm doing a show and he's working too. And exactly at this point in the night. Anyway, Louisville handles business against Rich Rodriguez and Jacksonville State. A couple things that just I think I tweeted it out right after I put my notes of my opinion immediately following the game. And I gotta be honest, I walked away not feeling nearly as good as I felt after game 1. It all has to do with the defense. It has, and I get it. Another guy responded with me saying they only gave up 100 yards in the entire second half. And that's fine. But some of the errors, the miscues, wrap up the damn quarterback. You can't let the quarterback of Jacksonville State just out muscle you. He outmaneuvered how many guys?
He ran a couple guys over.
He ran through a mother
at
bleeper's
least
throat.
3.
Yeah, like who's like how do you let that happen? Like especially because it's not like he was Lamar Jackson juking you. He went through you. He went through your neck. Yeah. So I mean I don't know. I gotta do more research. Maybe this dude is the Incredible Hulk or the Incredible Bulk if you're Big Rig.
So like when we're talking about Rich Rodriguez in our lifetime is like when we've been old enough to really watch and understand or have a concept of football at all. I mean, Rich Rodriguez has been an incredibly good offensive mind. Mm-hmm. And that whenever you have somebody that's like that, like, you talk about Bobby Petrino, you talk about, Lane Kiffin and some of the other guys, like it always for them, it starts at the line play, right? And I think when we're talking about what our defense looked like and how we didn't get the right kind of pressure on the quarterback and stuff like that, he game planned really well probably for us. And we may have just seen the, second or third best offensive game plan all season. Mm-hmm. Because I think Georgia Tech's going to be ready for us. And I think that we're still looking at Boston College. Bill O'Brien's pretty freaking accomplished. He got a Super Bowl ring or so.
No, I do have a lot of respect for him. I do. Yeah. It's just, again, I understand it's Rich Rodriguez, and I have a lot of respect for him. Obviously, going back to that 06 season, I put that season on a pedestal. I remember that game and just how just fireworks. That game was fireworks. Just with Louisville, and then with
it was amazing.
Steve Slayton, Pat White, but Pat White and Steve Slayton aren't even playing for Jacksonville State. You know what I mean? Right now, I mean, I guess at this point, I guess you can have players of that ability because if they're paying them, you might get some guys like that. But
you never know.
It's just, and I want to give him credit where it's due, but so much just said to me, like after that, when you gave up 14 points, I thought maybe you give up one or two, like in garbage time at the end, or give up a touchdown at the end of the game. But just at where it was in the game, how it happened, it bothered me. And it's a big picture. And shout out to my guy Lawrence. I don't think he's here tonight, but shout out to Lawrence who. He always talks about Ron, and Ron's going to give me a heart attack one of these days because I'm worried about what this defense is going to do and how quickly it can collapse. Because I'm starting to look at this season, and I look at last season, and as I'm moving into this season, and I'm wondering, and I'm starting to think, maybe, just maybe, those last 3 games are more indicative of what this defense is. And I understand it's not like they gave up a lot of points with Florida State in that game, right. But you just saw it collapse at the end against Kentucky, and then of course you saw just the complete the entire team collapse against USC. So I just worry. And
Miller Moss.
He's a baller.
Miller Moss, right?
He's a baller. He's a baller.
I think we got super unlucky. I think we got really unlucky.
But I would love to not have the coming out show happen against my team. It would just be nice. I'd prefer that. Just please, maybe next time, just let him sit. That's where I sit with it. I don't know. I will be worried until I see evidence against one of the upper echelons of the ACC that they're just going to shut him down defensively. I'm going to be on edge, I think, for the rest of the season because right now against Jacksonville State, I really was hoping to see a little bit more. Offensively, I love what I'm seeing. I love it all. I love it all. I will say Tyler Shuck is, to me, everything I want in a quarterback. Like he is, he's more tried and true quarterback. I haven't seen this at Louisville in a little while because we've been so run heavy. We've had so many guys who are going to run. And the one thing that makes me feel good, and I think one reason, and I don't mean to use that negatively because that is kind of like the way the game is evolving and the way that it's moving. Absolutely. It's because Lamar, Malik, you've had a lot of guys that could run. I mean, I'm not saying Jack Plummer was obviously. I'm not saying he's a runner or anything like that.
He did well. He wasn't scared.
Yeah, he put it on a couple times, but I think what I love it, what I think
except for that drop.
Exactly. What I'm hoping I'm going to be excited about, what I think I can trust in this is kind of an I don't want to say old school QB, but just what I'm used to. And I think because of the injury issues that have happened in the past, a lot of that at Texas Tech, at Oregon, with Tyler Shough was kind of caused because they were trying to run him a lot. And I think Jeff Brom knows that's not what I'm going to do, because you look at that running back room, and I think Lawrence was talking about that too, about on the postgame show with Mark Ennis yesterday, about, he was saying about whoever, the running back coach is, we're going to need to pay him, and we're going to need to make sure we lock him down. But they are doing a hell of a job. I never expected the running back room.
Barkley.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Duh. How did I forget Chris Barkley? Thank you. There's a reason you're here. There's a reason you're here to fill in that information for me. But
if it's just that.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. You're much more knowledgeable with that stuff. But I love having you on here. But what they have done, recruiting and developing that running back room, I didn't expect it. I knew Jawar had it in him. But just when you see the different players that are starting to develop, the freshmen that are getting minutes, and how reliable they are game in and game out, it's something that I, under Jeff Brom, kind of expected. I'm sorry to do this, but because he came through the Bobby Petrino tree, I guess if you want to call it a tree kind of thing, I expected it to be a little bit of an afterthought. Yeah. But I love what I'm seeing from both sides of the ball. The Tyler Shough is a quarterback. Keep him healthy. You don't run him. And then these running backs are really, really, really exciting. And I really can't wait to see what they do in the ACC. I just got to hope that the defense doesn't ever put them in a position where they're just going to have to outscore teams, because that ain't fun. I remember those days, and that's not something I want to do.
I mean, Shough's got a better ball. He's got a stronger arm. It appears that he's more confident, period, right? Because that's what you always saw with Jack, was just like you could see the indecision, where he just, if it didn't work exactly the way in the beginning, he wasn't going to be good going down to third and fourth options.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh yes, and shout out Mark Redmond. Thank you, and Uncle Larry, my guy, Uncle Larry. Shout out Uncle Larry. Yeah. It's funny. I was at I rolled up one day after work. And I just felt, I think I had to pick up dinner for my wife and kids or whatever, and I got nothing. So I'm like, Roosters is right down the street from where I live. And I was like, let's go to Roosters today. It happened to be a Wednesday, when the U of L coaches show was running. It's the one on Fern Creek, or down there off Bardstown Road. I guess I blinked. I didn't know. So I pull in. I'm like, why the hell is it so busy here? Why are the to-go parking spots all taken? And it's just literally a flood of U of L fans there. But the reason I bring that up is my guy, Larry, comes up and just introduces himself. Nicest guy I've ever met. Pleasure to meet him. And hopefully to see a lot more of Uncle Larry here around here. And again, Uncle Larry, I think we're getting close to wrapping up this show here in a little bit, but definitely want to send out an invite to you. Same thing like we do with Lawrence, anytime that you want to hop on and join us. But anyway, Bubba Nero says, watch the Jacksonville quarterback beat Louisville's QB next year. Jeff Brom had to be in love watching him run. Is that what Jeff wants, though? Is that what he wants from a quarterback? Like, is that...
No, I don't think he does. He has the option to do that with Shough, right? Like, Shough's got great legs. Like, he can move. But now, obviously, we've played two teams that maybe he doesn't have to do that, right? So why would we put him in the position in that? But maybe further down the line, when that gets utilized a little bit more. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. One more thing, and I'm going to try to find something real quick if I can. Where is it? Inspector Gadget said, Vince Merrill just got an extension. Stoops and him are tight. They're going nowhere, and neither is Wolford until the end of the season. O-line needs some work, but you can't fix it overnight. My guy, God bless you. I don't know. I don't know.
You had all summer to fix it.
Yeah, they've had a lot of time. I just don't know. I think this season, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm eating crow at the end of the season. I just don't see Stoops being here at the beginning of next season. I think again, we know the only reason he's here is because right now he was forced. He had nowhere else to go. Yeah. So here we go. I want to play this real quick because it just reminded me. Oh, not this button. Let's see if I can get this one going. This just reminds me of leading us a little bit into the last little bit of what we wanted to do here. Oh, why is it not playing? Why are we not playing?
Oh, Stoops, you got no stones. You suck, and Eddie Grant sucks too.
little Mark Stoops. There's that one, and then I think one of them was from a bathroom. I don't know if that happened in the bathroom. No, there was another UK one that was in the bathroom. That's the one I'm thinking of. But the reason I bring that up is something I like to do here. It really comes back from the Now We Can Talk Like Clay Travis podcast that I did with my guy Dwight, and then with my twin brother as well over on the other, I guess it's a YouTube channel. If you feel maybe there's eventually a time where Phil Baker and people will be like, Justin, you can't be doing the ESPN Louisville Plus anymore. And I'll just go back to the Now We Can Talk Like Men podcast channel. So if you want to go subscribe over to that channel as well, I may be trying to put content out there one day. But anyway, something we talked about on there we do is a section called the dude debate. And when I say a dude debate, and again, this sounds very MAGA when we start getting this kind of stuff. I feel like people are going to say, but it's just guys talking. For the most part, something we brought up, and one of them that was kind of like a big thing to me was we talked about there's some etiquette and some rules that happen. I understand this isn't sports related. I apologize, people, but when it comes to entering a bathroom, especially if you think about, and it's a little bit different from when you're at work like you are currently, or if you're out at the U of L game or whatever like that. U of L game, some of the rules may not apply the same. Well, they definitely don't, because I've seen those bathrooms and I've seen what you animals leave it in when you get just pissing on the seat, pissing on the floor. I don't know if they wash their hands or what, but it's disgusting. We don't monitor the stall rule or the urinal rule, right?
The urinal rule.
So
it's a trough.
A trough, yeah. The trough. Well, the trough. The trough is so uncomfortable because you're just. It's all just out there together. We're all just That's about as close as it gets. Anyway, do you have? And I'll get into my big one. I have one big rule that I really want to get into. We talked about it a little bit before. I remember with Sweeney, and they got on me about it. But I think I'm more entrenched and more believing this rule than I ever have. Say you're at what is your one? Do you have like a big bathroom rule yourself, etiquette wise, like at restroom rule?
Me, no, because I have a different background, right? Like I spent 20 years in the military. Okay. So in doing that, right, I've been in really weird situations. Like when we were prepping to go to Iraq and we're in Fort Stewart, Georgia in 2005, there's a building. And when I tell you, like, there's a concrete block wall down the middle that's about hip high. And then on each side, there are 20 toilets. And when there's no dividers. Like the guy next to me is right here. Like I can put my arm around him while we're sitting there.
Oh, you're just,
right?
Yeah.
We're close, right? The Army desensitized me to a lot of things. However, I know rules around this, and I do abide by them because I know it makes other people uncomfortable.
Okay.
So
that's
leave the gap. If there's no dividers on urinals, one urinal forever, one urinal space.
Yeah. So
if there's five and there's a space, you don't use those. You go to the stall or you wait.
And you always start. You don't start in a weird space. Like you don't start. Like if it's a 5-man stall, you don't start in stall 2. You start on 1 or 5.
Start on 1.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's clear. Okay, we're starting in a good place. Now I gotta ask you this. Here's my biggest pet peeve. This is my biggest one. And to start off, actually, let me intro it a little bit. I don't believe in. It's changed a little bit since I've changed my career a little bit and I do a day job that I have to be in a building. When I was just a PI, I didn't have to deal with other people. I could go home whenever. I didn't have to worry about a lot of stuff. But there's cultures change when you have to use a public, or when I say public bathroom, I mean a workspace bathroom, right?
Office bathroom.
Exactly, office bathroom, where there's multiple stalls or multiple urinals in location. If there's if I, in this scenario, there's two individuals, I enter the bathroom, you're already in the bathroom. You're in there, you're in the stall. You are just ransacked, you're destroying this thing. I know what's going on. You know what's going on. I also enter a stall, not next to you, but I enter one business taken care of, right? You're still in there. You're laying waste. There's evidence. Everybody's getting a sense of what's going on, but I don't know. I don't know it's you in that stall, right? You don't know it's me in the other stall, but you know somebody else is in that bathroom. You hear me get up. I flush. You open the latch. I walk out. I'm washing my hands. All right. What do you do in that moment if you finish? If you're
probably letting you wash your hands and let you leave.
Correct. Thank you. That is the answer I was looking for. Do we have a celebration? Do we have a what do we got? What do we got here? We got a no, that's not gonna work.
Well, I mean, like, because I don't have a problem like making eye contact with you, but I feel like there are going to be a lot of people that are like, if I'm over there clutching the walls, right, and just shaking the stall, right, like if I walk out, you're not going to, you don't want to know it's me.
Yes, thank you. Okay, thank you, because I've had other people battle me on this. Treble battled me on this. I remember. Here is my thing. This happened to me at church. It happened to me at church. I walked in. Dude was destroying the bathroom at church. Sinning in the stall.
Lord's poop.
There was nothing. The Heavenly Father was not in this poop. This is all Satan. This is all Satan's work.
I just assume he was probably almost in the crucified position, right?
He was more than likely. He was releasing the sins of yesterday.
Right.
Anyway, I walk in, handle business just in the urinal, wash my hand. What do I hear behind me? But you hear the flush, you hear all that, and then you hear the click. And the sliding. And just the sliding of the metal little bar, and it comes open. And he has the audacity, the nerve of this man to walk up next to me, directly next to the sink that I'm using, and start a conversation to say, hi, how am I doing? I don't remember what the hell he was saying because I was so enraged at this point that this man, I smelled the sin of your body in this bathroom right now, and you don't have the common decency to wait, to stay in the stall. Like, that is my biggest pet peeve. And it's something that I feel like it needs to be addressed every once in a while, because I feel like there's enough of you animals out there. Jinky, I'm glad you're not one of them, but there are animals out there who do not abide by this. Like, it's different if I'm hanging out, if I'm Jay and Silent Bobbing in the bathroom, that's fine. You can come out and take care of what you got to do. But if I'm washing my hands and I look like I'm in a rush and I'm trying to get it done because I'm afraid of what's going to happen, let me go. Just let me finish and then let me leave. That's all I ask. It's simple.
I mean, I would give the warning, like if I hear you go out and I know you're going to wash your hands, I'm going to give you a warning flush to let you know that you can't dilly-dally.
Thank you. Exactly. That's what it's for. Thank you. I'm so glad.
I'm not coming out, but like, hey, it's flushed. It's time for you to get it moving.
You're a good man. You're a good man of the people. That's what we need more of. Okay, that's and I don't know anybody. I know Dennis wants me to talk wide receivers and running backs and defensive line second. We'll talk about it another day. There's more days for that. That's fine. You know what? We'll let Steve Rummage and Maven talk about it. We'll let Bart Blankenmaker list off the entire roster for you tomorrow morning.
Right.
We'll let
from
him
memory.
Yeah, he'll do that. That's what he does every night. Instead of saying a prayer, he just reads the
studies.
The
depth chart.
The three deep. He's got to know. Let's see what other ones. Peanut butter policy. I like to come out licking my fingers just to give people a good story. That's disgusting. I never want to meet you, but that's really funny.
Hey, you'll know when you do, though. He'll be the guy coming out of the stall licking his fingers.
Exactly. That'll be great. That mother bleeper, that's Peanut Butter Posse. That's who that is. I know that guy. But here, I honestly view going number 2 in a public restroom as a day-ruining worst-case scenario. And I completely agree with you. That was another take of mine. Personal opinion. This changed since working. I have a good, actually, I'm not going to say good friend. It's Dwight. He's the guy who usually does the show with me. It's him. And it's a ritual. every day at like 9 o'clock at work, he's in that bathroom. And like he'll send me an update every time he's doing it. And I never understood it until something changes inside us when we start working a regular job. And it's like, no, buddy, you're not waiting until you get home. Like it's age.
I'm pooping on the clock.
Yep. Oh, pooping on company time is another. Yeah, that's another discussion. That is definitely. And I love that you're here while working talking about it. I'm doing it on company time. Damn it. But yeah, it's something that's changed. I think also me having an espresso machine in my office isn't helping me because I have my own espresso machine that I keep in there next to my desk, and I'll have it in the morning. And I know I'm paying for this later, but it's so good. It helps me wake up every morning. It's part of me being a paisan. I got to prove it. Other people, they talk about being paisans. Where's your espresso machine? Where is it? What brand is it?
Which one do you got?
DeLonghi. It's the DeLonghi.
That's what we've got a DeLonghi. That's what we use.
Yeah. I'm not no Breville, none of that stuff. None of your Americanized version. We use the paisan good stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I appreciate it. We've done this. We've kept it going for quite a while. Dennis, this is a bleepy conversation for real. Well, that's what we're here for. That's why I wrapped it up. I didn't start it with it, buddy. I didn't start the show with it. I just wanted to wrap it up. I like to have a little bit of nonsense mixed in with our sports takes. I think it's been a good show. It's been good. We've had over 800 some odd people hanging out with us, tuning in tonight. A lot of fun, a lot of nonsense. UK, we'll see what happens with them and Mark Stoops by the end of the season. Maybe Mark Stoops, maybe he's a lifer. Maybe we don't know. I doubt it. But enjoy your season. Enjoy Daddy Shane Beamer working that ass.
Absolutely.
As I like to say. Any final thoughts you want to give? UK, U of L, just a take, anything you got?
I mean, I'm really looking forward to the game this year. I always enjoy going to Lexington, especially when I believe that we have such a high possibility of beating them. I've actually never made a trip to Lexington where we didn't come back victorious. So since I'm going this year, I feel like we're winning. Yeah,
last one that I've gone to in Lexington, honestly, was Teddy Bridgewater, like back in 2013 or 12 or whatever it was. It was 2013, I think. That's the last time I've been at Lexington. But we'll see how it goes. I think this year it's a do or die. Like Jeff Brom, you got to win this game. And I know Diener and people said like he knows that. He knows it better than anybody. But you can know it, but it has to happen. I can't do one more season of this. Guys, thank you all so much for joining us. This has been a blast. I had a lot of fun. Jinky, thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully we can do a lot more of this. Hopefully anytime that you got time you want to join in, you're always welcome. It's an open invite. Reminder, every Friday we have a blast here on ESPN Louisville Plus. My guy, James Strebel, who was the butt of a lot of jokes today, this evening, and he will always be right. I expect him to have a lot of. He'll be taking the bleep end of the stick a lot this week, given what happened with UK football against South Carolina. But him, Max Godby, it's their show, but they're having guests on it. Justin Jeffries, other people will join us throughout the coming weeks. So make sure you tune in this Friday at 6 p.m. I'd say sharp, not really sharp, but right after around 6 p.m. Following the mixtape, tune in for the mixtape. And after a good laugh, we'll get you in to the week talking even more college football for the thing that we all love most. But anyway, guys, appreciate everything. If you haven't already, do me a solid favor. Go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ESPN Louisville. Go there, hit the subscribe button, hit the freaking like button if you haven't already, hit that freaking bell. And you know what, guys? I think that we will see you all next time.